There we go. Good morning, everybody. We are now live. If you are joining us live, please do say hello and join in with us in the comments. And if you're watching on catch up, get my words out. Feel free to comment as well, and one of us will pop back and reply to you, I am sure. But good morning. Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure.
You know the drill. The first thing we always do is a quick either/or questions, just to get to know you a little bit more, while Facebook does its thing. So, are you a dog or are you a cat person?
Dog.
Okay. Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Pepsi or Coke?
Ooh, Coke, I think. Coke.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Final one, fruit or veg?
Fruit. Definitely fruit.
Okay. Cool. So we've got people joining us live. If you joined us live, make sure you say hi and chat along with us in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Rachel, thank you for coming on. Introduce yourself really briefly to everyone, and then we'll get into the actual questions and conversation about your business and who you are.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel. I'm a mummy to two little girls. I am previously a teacher, trained and experienced teacher with early years and lower primary. And 2 years ago, end of 2019, I set up Munchkin and Me story play sessions for babies with and toddlers with their parents and carers. And yeah, that's what I've come to talk about, I guess. And I absolutely love it.
Absolutely, yeah. I've followed your journey a little bit the last few months, which has been exciting, and it seems to be growing from strength to strength, which is obviously amazing and obviously a good thing for you as well. So explain a little bit more about what your play sessions kind of entail a little bit, so people maybe, if they're interested, would know a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's obviously a little bit different at the moment, because at the moment sessions are on Zoom. But we are going back to face-to-face sessions in 2 weeks' time, all being well. 3 weeks' time, sorry, all being well, according to the government roadmap. So from the 14th of April, we will be back face-to-face sessions, really popular. So I'm very excited about that. What we do at sessions is we explore stories. We explore stories through different types of play. It's all very multi-sensory. We have rhyme, we have song, we have sounds, smells, we have messy play, so they have taste, and basically we explore a different story every week. I have sessions for babies from birth, so we use different sensory experience for the babies. We then have a mini story explorer session, which is for our babies that are just starting to explore, get on the move, and up to about 2 years old. And then we have our story explorer sessions, which are for toddlers from 2 to 4 years, and then they're a bit more active, and sort of picking up on the routines and what we do each week. But it's great fun. It's something totally, I think it's quite different to other things that are available. At the moment, once we go back, we are obviously have COVID restrictions in place, so it's a bit different to how it was intended to be and how it will go back to being, hopefully, because we do have to socially distance and do that side of things. But I think I've managed to work ways to still make it really magical, even though we're socially distanced. And I should say there's a large focus as well on parents and carers getting to know each other and just forming those relationships, because we sort of incorporate time into the sessions to try and nurture those friendships, just because I think it's so important as a new parent or carer just to have others that you can sort of chat to and have as friends, really. So yeah, that's a bit about Munchkin and Me.
Sounds amazing. So you, like you said, a lot of it's sensory and play based. What kind of made you feel like that route was the best route for you to go down? Why did you think that was important?
Yeah, because I guess through my teaching background, I really wanted to, I feel really strongly about stories. I've got a real passion for storytelling and introducing children to sort of a language rich story environment from a very young age. But obviously you need to, all children and babies and adults experience things in different sensory ways. And I really just wanted to incorporate that all into the sessions so they get a full sort of broad experience and see how stories don't have to just be about words in a book, and that they can be brought to life through sights, smells, sounds, tastes, physical activity. So we particularly when we're not socially distanced, I often have physical activities to do with the story. So for example, I think we did a farm story, Oscar and Mabel on the farm, before COVID, and one of the activities was to go over an obstacle course with eggs, to get the eggs safely back to the farmer. So it's really just bringing those stories to life in all different ways and showing parents how they can do it in the home as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love a sound, but I think I wish there'd been something like that when Amelie was little. She's past the age now, but yeah, I think sensory stuff is really important. And actually, like I said, it's book week here on the page, so using the use of story and stuff actually doesn't have to just be physically reading a book with them. They can still learn stories in really different ways, which is really interesting to think more about, actually. So
Yeah,
exciting.
definitely.
You briefly mentioned Oscar and Mabel. So
Yeah,
who are Oscar and Mabel?
Oscar and Mabel.
Yeah.
So Oscar, this is Oscar. Oscar can give everyone a wave if anyone's watching with little ones. Oscar is my orangutan puppet, as you can see. Oscar came to live with me when I was doing my teacher training, actually. I found him at a show and he came to live with me, and then he ended up in my classroom, and everybody loves Oscar. So the children would really take notice and listen to whatever Oscar was saying when he was in the classroom with me. So if I wanted everyone just to sit quietly for a moment, Oscar would have a look and see who was sitting quietly. And obviously I then brought him, he's grown up with my eldest daughter, who's now 6, and I brought him along to sessions, and the children just really engage with Oscar and they love seeing him. And actually having Oscar with me during the Zoom sessions has helped massively, because it's quite hard to engage with the screen. It's not the same as being in in face-to-face classes, but the babies, I've got 5-month-old babies in the Zoom session, and actually it's not just a screen, they are really watching Oscar and engaging with Oscar, which is really good. And Mabel's Mabel Monkey. So Oscar orangutan is friendly and clumsy, and a lot of the stories can be often based around Oscar and Mabel as well. And Mabel Monkey here came into my life when I had my second daughter, who's now 2, and I wanted her to have her own sort of mate as well. So this is her buddy. This is Mabel Monkey, and Mabel had to come along to sessions. And Mabel is very lovely and kind like Oscar, but she's a bit mischievous. She's got a bit of a different personality. So that's Mabel Monkey. So yeah, that's Mabel and Oscar for you.
Exciting. And I guess for the kids, it's kind of that familiarity, can't get the word out, but seeing them every week, and especially like you said through Zoom, you obviously had to, with everything happening with COVID, had to make a big change in your business and make that work. And you've obviously done that, and done that well, and used them as a way of helping with that for the kids basis, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Having them on screen, it's really helped. I did open briefly between the 2 lockdowns. We opened for a number of weeks actually, and it went really well. It was great, but there was numerous things I had to overcome with that, because obviously when you're socially distanced, all the children want to come and say hello and touch and stroke Oscar. So it's thinking things through like that. So we invested. I was very lucky to get a grant actually from the Early Childhood Fund in Norfolk, and so I invested in some hand puppets, so each child could have their own hand puppet, which actually worked really well during that lockdown, that restricted period, and we'll be using those again. So they've got their own props that they can then interact. So they've got Oscar and Mabel's friends to use, which just helps, because otherwise obviously they are really keen to come and be really interactive with Oscar and Mabel, which they love, and I do too, but we just have to wait until such a time as we can get back to a bit more normality with that.
Yeah, I guess COVID has had an impact on lots of businesses, and you found a way to get through that, which is obviously a great thing. And like you said, you're going back to being back in person in a few weeks' time, so that's obviously got to be exciting. I guess, like you said, there's still restrictions in place, but hopefully over the next few months they'll gradually disappear, and you can go back to being how it was to start with.
I think it's just about as well being in the same room together. So even though we are distanced, I know a lot of my new mums who had babies during lockdown, when they came previously, they said just being in an environment where there are other mums in here and who I know are having, no sleep, who are tired, it's just so nice to come to somewhere. And I can't begin to imagine how difficult it must have been for a lot of people. I mean, it's been difficult for everybody, but if you've got a new baby and they haven't met grandparents, possibly they haven't met relatives, you haven't got other mummy friends or carer friends of the same at the same time that locally, at least we are able to meet one-on-one outside now. But if you don't actually know anyone who's got a baby of the same stage, it must be so isolating. So hopefully through coming to group, and that's part of the reason why I've set up my Facebook group as well, I thought we could start building some of those friendships before we even meet him face to face. And obviously not everyone can come to classes, so they can come and join my group and hopefully get a bit of interaction going with each other. They might find they're living up the road from someone, and oh yeah, we can go and meet and have a coffee. And you so need that when you're having no sleep and you wake up and you feel like a zombie and you've got to get through the day. So that's kind of quite an important element of it as well.
Yeah, that was actually one of the points on my list to talk to you about, saying that your group, you are really creating like more of a community in there. And yes, it's for your business, to promote your business, but that's not always the primary focus in it. To me, that's how it seems. Like you're definitely creating a nice little community with top tips that'll help people out, and just giving people a chance of space to, like you said, to talk to other mums if they don't have anyone else to talk to.
It was I think for a lot of people it's a real lifesaver. It can be a game changer really, when you can, that you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning and walking around the bedroom with your baby that you adore but that will not stop crying, and every time you put them down they cry again. So just knowing there's someone else up, and maybe you can send them a WhatsApp. And we had a little WhatsApp group with some mummy friends, and just knowing there were other people awake and feeding and tired and feeling the same, it just helps to keep you going really, I think. That community is I am trying to create a community, and that's what it's all about. And it doesn't have to be for people that all come to my classes. A lot of people can't come to my classes, we're only small at the moment, so we're growing, but I just want people to find some friendships out of it. And to me, that if people do get that, as well as making the children, helping support the children's development and seeing their smiles and that side of things, if a mum comes to me and says through your group, which some parents have, I've met these mummy friends and it's just been amazing to have those friendships, then that is what I want, and it makes me really happy to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was vital for me in the beginning. I was a young mum in comparison, and I was the first one out of my, at the time, quite big friendship group to have a baby, and I was probably still 2 or 3 years ahead of a lot of them before they started joining in and having their own kids. So it was like that, and until I made some mum friends around, I didn't have anyone to talk to. And actually making those friends through various different platforms was really vital and really did help. So somewhere that people can go to find that is important. So it's great to have that place. So I will
put friends through it too, which is great.
Yeah, I will make sure there is a link above to Rachel's page and to her group for people who want to head over and find those. But what's next? Obviously, like you said, you're going back to in person. Is there any other future plans? Is there anything else that you're kind of aiming for?
Big things. I'm there's a lot going on. It's I've got a lot in the pipeline. So my youngest has been at home. I've been a stay-at-home mummy for a while. Did a bit of supply teaching as well. I do love being in the classroom. But with Munchkin and Me, what we're planning on doing is hopefully growing. So my little one's off to nursery soon. I would like to be growing Munchkin and Me, so we're starting up in different parts of Norfolk initially, and hopefully possibly having people on board to be delivering some Munchkin and Me sessions for me. Also the stories, so we do traditional tales, and we also do tales that I've written, and tales about Oscar and Mabel. So I'm going to hopefully take that further and look. The plan is to get some of those stories actually made into books as well, which we can use through the sessions. I tend to do storytelling rather than story reading, because I think with this age and the multisensory experience, it's much more engaging for them, especially the very young ones. So yeah, that is the next plans are to see if we can get some books made, and also get setting up in different parts of Norfolk. So hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be running some more sessions. Obviously there's a lot of stuff to go into that, and finding the right venues. Venues are quite important to me, so I choose my venues quite carefully, because I want them to be places that provide parents with that are clean and bright and all of that, but also that are near, or provide parents with somewhere they can go, whether it's a walk in the park afterwards, or we usually run from the Folks Arms in Hillingdon, and I chose that. Not many baby groups run from hotels that I'm aware of, but I chose that specifically because they're a very family friendly, welcoming hotel. And a lot of my parents, especially the new mums, would go over after sessions, this is pre-COVID, for a coffee and a pastry, and with their babies. And so just having things like cafes close by or on site, I think is really good, because you can then extend that morning if you choose to. Without it, you don't have to, but it's an option. So yeah, so that's where I lost stream there. So yeah, that's where we're going. We're going to look at more venues, grow Munchkin and Me, bring it to more people, make it more accessible, and hopefully delve into getting the stories published as well.
Sounds like an amazing year. Could be ahead of you. So that's exciting. I just want to highlight this comment from Heather, actually. So important for parents to see how littlies can engage with pure quality storytelling. I ran a rhyme time at toddler group, and parents were amazed that kids wanted to engage and could remember rhymes.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
That's kind of what you've been saying.
Yeah, rhyming. We do a lot of rhyming stories. Actually, I'm quite passionate about rhyme, and just that language, I'm doing teacher speak, but language rich. So lots and lots of great words, and just exposing them to those words from a really young age. It does wonders for their vocabulary. Even if they can't say those words, they are processing it all and taking it in. And it's amazing when you teach in early years, and you can see quite distinctly children who maybe not even through the language, but in different ways, children who have been read to, or who are in families that they talk and interact a lot, and it does really make a difference. So
yeah, exciting. So thank you, Rachel, for joining me. I absolutely love that chat. It's lovely just to hear a little bit more about Munchkin and Me, and where your plans are going in the foreseeable future and in the future long term. So that's been super exciting. Thank you to those people who watched live. I think we had about 7 or 8 at one point, so that's amazing.
Fab. That's awesome.
Yeah, and if you've watched on catch up, like I said, feel free to leave us a comment. One of us will pop back and reply to you at some point, and all the links for how to find Rachel and her group will be above this video, so do go and check those out. But yeah, again, thank you so much for joining me. I absolutely loved that chat, and we will see you all again really soon.
That would be brilliant. Thank you so much for having me, Tanya. It's been great, and look forward to hopefully hearing from some of you and seeing some of you over in the group. Thank you. Bye-bye.